How's it going, beer runners? I wanted to give you another quick product review for something that I was lucky enough to test as being a BibRave Pro and working with the BibRave Ambassador Program, and that product is FBOMB. If you're unfamiliar with them, they make a bunch of different fuel sources, but specifically what I was testing was their individual serving macadamia nut butter packets. So I got this variety pack. It came chock full of these little packets of the macadamia nut butter, and specifically it came with 4 different flavors and 4 samples of each flavor. So there was macadamia with sea salt, macadamia pecan nut butter, macadamia with coconut, and salted chocolate macadamia. So those are the 4 flavors that we got to sample. And the first thing that I really loved about the product is basically what the flavor is everything that's on the ingredients list. They're incredibly simple, basic in terms of what goes into them, which I really enjoy because you don't have to worry about any of that added nonsense. And for me especially, what I liked about the flavor is you don't have to worry about any of that added sweetener or sugar or anything like that. I think a lot of the over-the-counter, I traditionally go with peanut butter, but a lot of that over-the-counter stuff is incredibly sweet, and I had never had anything like these FBOMB Nut Butters where there isn't any of that added sugar. It's just, like I said, the plain ingredients, the plain flavor, and it is just so savory and delicious, and just an excellent source of fuel. So if you're looking for something more simplified, all natural, this is definitely a great option. Like I said, these are the macadamia with sea salt. The entire ingredients list is just dry roasted macadamia nuts and sea salt, so there's no peanuts. If you have a peanut allergy, that's great for you. No dairy, non-GMO, keto-friendly, paleo-friendly, vegetarian, vegan, etc. This is a great option if you have any dietary restrictions, and gluten-free as well. So highly recommend checking them out if you have any specific kind of dietary needs, but also if you're just looking for a simplified and delicious fuel source. So to talk a little bit about how I specifically use these during the testing phase as a fuel source, I didn't use them necessarily as a mid-run fuel source. I'm sure that you could. I'm sure they would be just as good. I just personally opted not to. My primary focus was on pre-running fuel, post-running fuel, and then also just as a snack day to day. These are a lot more substantial than traditional granola bars and other things that I've had in the past. They're about 215 calories, and the whole idea behind FBOMB is they're solely fat-based, very low carb, high in good healthy fats, which is just going to hold you over hunger-wise a lot longer than something that's very sugar or carb rich. So primarily what I use these for is I tend to mess around a little bit with intermittent fasting. Every day I try to cut off my eating sometime around 8 and usually 9 o'clock at night, and then I don't resume eating again until noon the next day. So a big window of fasting, and then an 8 or 9 hour window of when I will actually eat day to day. Usually around noon I'm starting to get pretty hungry, and oftentimes I don't necessarily have the time, especially if I'm at work, to have a more substantial meal, and so these have become kind of my go-to at work just to tide me over until I can get something a little bit more substantial in my system. And it's great because since they are low carb, high fat, they just hold me over a lot more. You don't have the crash that you do. Carbs and sugars will definitely fill you up immediately and give you that energy rush, but then also a very quick crash, usually within like 30 minutes to an hour. If I'm having like a more sugary granola bar or something like that, I'll crash after. With these, I'm good for hour, 2 hour plus, and usually feel fine and can continue on with my day again until I have the time for a more substantial meal. So definitely appreciate that more sustained energy level or fuel source that it offers. The other thing I mentioned when I do use this for running is going to be if I have a particularly hard effort, especially a long run on the weekends, I'll grab one of these beforehand. I might even put it on toast just so I can get that quick carb rush that I can digest right away, but then during the run I have that more sustainable fat-based fuel source to keep me going throughout the long run. And then again, since I do typically tend to fast, or if I am fasting for one of those long run hard effort runs, when I'm getting back around noon, I am starving. I've just put in a very hard effort run in a fasted state and I need something quick to eat, so I'll take one of these packets with me on the run so that I can just tear it open as soon as I'm finished. Again, grab that fuel source, quiet that stomach gargling, stomach grumbling that I might be feeling, and it's good to sustain me for an hour, 2 hours plus, until I'm able to get something more substantial in my system. There you have it, just a quick review of a product that I've really been enjoying sampling over the last couple weeks. Just wanted to go over some of my favorite things about these macadamia nut butter packets from FBOMB. If you are interested in trying them out, for the time being, BibRave is offering a discount, or FBOMB is offering a discount to people who follow BibRave. The code is BRP FBOMB10, and that'll get you 10% off of their 16-pack variety pack. So definitely worth checking out. The other thing that I will definitely be checking out is I saw when doing some research for this review that they actually recently started offering full jars of their macadamia nut butter as well. So if you're looking for something that's just a little bit easier to put on a sandwich, if you're looking for a little bit more than just what's in these packets, or something that's just easier to incorporate into your daily diet, definitely investigate that as well. They have some discounts that you can take advantage of on their website for most, if not all, of their products. So just a great product to try out if you're looking for a new snack, a new running fuel source, anything that you need. Give them a look and let me know what you think. So hopefully you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!